Have you ever looked at your bank account after a completely normal month and wondered where all your money went? You did not buy anything crazy, no major luxury purchases, just the regular stuff. You bought groceries, had a few meals out, and maybe paid for a new phone because your old one was getting slow. Normal expenses, right? And yet you are sitting there thinking you should have way more money than you actually do. The thing is, and this is what most people do not realize until it is too late, a lot of the stuff we buy today just is not worth it anymore. Not even close. Prices have gone completely insane on things that used to be reasonable. We are all just sort of going along with it because that is what everyone else does. But the world you once knew has changed, and the old rules of value have been rewritten by marketing teams and corporate greed. Quality content does not come from guessing. It comes from looking at the cold, hard facts of the market. My name is Nick, and I help people understand money so they can keep more of it instead of watching it disappear on overpriced garbage. Today, we are going to look at 10 things that are no longer worth your money in 2025. If you want to stop feeling broke all the time and actually figure out where your money should be going, this is for you. Let us start with something that is probably going to make some people defensive, but it needs to be said. Fast food is not cheap anymore. It just is not. Remember when fast food was the thing you got because it was quick and affordable? That was the whole point. You could grab a burger and fries for a few bucks and be on your way. Those days are completely gone. Now you are looking at $12, $15, or even $20 for a meal at a typical burger chain. $20 for fast food. That is not even sitting down at a real restaurant with actual plates and someone bringing you water. You are standing at a counter or sitting in your car, eating out of a paper bag. It is costing you the same as a decent meal at a casual dining place would have cost just a few years ago. The value proposition has completely disappeared. You are paying premium prices for food that is still the same quality it always was, which is to say, not great. The convenience has become a luxury that most budgets simply cannot afford. It is the end of the era of the cheap meal. Now let us talk about eating out at actual restaurants. This used to be something you could do regularly without destroying your budget. Maybe once or twice a week you would go out for dinner, and it was no big deal. Now going out to eat has become a luxury expense that adds up so fast it is genuinely shocking. You sit down, order a couple of entrees, maybe an appetizer, and definitely drinks. Before you know it, you are looking at a bill that is $70, $80, or $100 for two people. And that is at a place that is not even fancy, just a regular restaurant. Then you add the tip because of course you are tipping, and suddenly you have spent a massive amount of money on a single meal. That money is gone forever. You ate some food and now it is over. There is nothing wrong with enjoying a meal out once in a while. But when you are doing this multiple times a week, you are talking about thousands of dollars every year disappearing. Most people who are struggling to save or invest are eating out way too often. They do not realize it because it is $20 here and $30 there, but it adds up to a massive money leak. Next on the list is something that drives me crazy because the math is so obvious, and yet people keep doing it. Brand new cars. Buying a new car is one of the worst financial decisions you can make. The moment you drive a new car off the dealer lot, it loses something like 20% of its value instantly. You have not even gotten home yet, and you are already down thousands of dollars. Then it keeps losing value every single year. Meanwhile, you are probably making monthly payments because most people finance cars these days. So you are paying interest on top of the purchase price for an asset that is actively becoming worth less and less. It is the opposite of an investment. It is just burning money for a smell and a feeling of status. If you are a normal person trying to build wealth, buying new cars will keep you poor. A 3 or 4-year-old used car is going to be just as reliable and cost half as much. The heavy loss in value has already happened to someone else. Let them pay the penalty while you keep the cash. Speaking of status, let us talk about branded luxury clothing and designer labels. I am not saying all expensive clothing is a waste. Sometimes you need quality items that last, like a good pair of boots or a well-made coat. But that is not what most people are buying. They are buying logos. They are paying absolutely insane markups for the ability to tell people they own a certain brand. You can buy a plain white t-shirt for $10, Or you can buy the same shirt with a designer logo for $200. It is often the same cotton from the same factory. The only difference is the marketing. Nobody actually cares what brand your shirt is except you. Nobody's impressed by your logo. You are just out 190 extra dollars for no real reason. This applies to designer jeans, luxury handbags, and expensive sneakers. People are going into credit card debt to buy designer clothes because they think it makes them look successful. In reality, it just makes them broke. Marketing has convinced you that you need these things to be worth something as a person, but you do not. Now let us address vacations that have gotten completely out of control. Taking a vacation used to be affordable if you were smart about it. That has gotten much harder. Flight prices are high, and hotels have added so many hidden fees that the total cost is often double the advertised rate. Resort fees, parking fees, and service charges are everywhere. People are still taking these elaborate vacations they cannot afford because of social media pressure. They see everyone else posting photos and they think they need to do the same, so they book a trip they cannot afford, put it on a credit card, and spend the next year paying it off with interest. Travel can be great, but not if it puts you in debt. There is an attitude that you have to see the world while you are young, no matter the cost. But you know what else is valuable? Financial security, not being stressed about money all the time. Maybe the better approach is to take smaller trips closer to home and save the international travel for when you can truly afford it. Let us talk about the subscription vampire, specifically streaming services. Everyone has 5 or 6 of them now. Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and many others. Each one is only $10 or $15 a month, which does not sound like much. But when you add them all up, you are paying nearly $1,000 a year just for television. Think about how much of that content you are actually watching. You are probably using one service regularly and barely touching the others. But you keep paying for all of them because you might want to watch something eventually. Meanwhile, that is money that could be going toward investments or paying off debt. And do not get me started on cable. People are still paying $150 a month for cable packages with hundreds of channels they never watch. It is completely unnecessary in 2025. Then there is the trap of new electronics every single year. A new phone comes out and people line up to buy it, even though their current phone works perfectly fine. The old one still works, but the new one has a slightly better camera, so they think they need it. This is one of the dumbest ways people waste money. A new smartphone costs $1,000 or more, and people buy them every year or two. Does it actually improve your life? Probably not. You are still using it for the same basic tasks. Tech companies have figured out how to make you feel like you need the newest model through planned obsolescence. If you just kept your phone for 5 years instead of 2, you would save thousands of dollars over your lifetime. That is money that could be earning returns in the stock market instead of sitting in your pocket losing value. Now look at household goods and kitchen gadgets. People are spending way more than they need to on basic items because they think the expensive version is better. Generic cleaning products work just as well as the name brand stuff, but cost half as much. You do not need a $400 blender unless you are running a smoothie shop. The kitchen is often full of specialized equipment that people use once a year, and then it collects dust. Bread makers, pasta makers, and expensive knife sets that never get sharpened. It is all just stuff taking up space and draining your bank account. And furniture is even worse. People are now financing furniture like it is a car or a house. They go into debt to buy a couch that will be worn out in 5 years. That is insane. You can get perfectly good furniture for a fraction of the price if you look at clearance sales or used marketplaces. But people want everything to look perfect for the internet, so they spend money they do not have. The ninth item is something that is almost always a scam, and that is extended warranties. Retailers love these because they are pure profit. The salesperson tells you that for a small fee, you can have peace of mind. But the actual rate of repair claims is very low. Most of the money you pay for a warranty goes straight to the retailer and the insurance company. Most warranties have so many exclusions that they are worthless when you actually need them. If you buy extended warranties on everything, you are wasting hundreds of dollars a year. That money should be in your own emergency fund where you control it. Finally, let us talk about the biggest trap of all, which is status spending. This is when you buy things not because you need them, but because you want to look successful to others. Expensive watches, luxury bags, and cars you can barely afford. Actually, wealthy people usually do not do this. They do not need to prove anything. It is the people who want to look wealthy but are not building actual wealth who fall into this trap. They spend money on things that lose value just to impress strangers who do not care about them. Meanwhile, they have no savings and no investments. It is all fake. Respect comes from your character and your actions, not from the brand of your handbag. So where does this leave us? Everything costs more than it used to, and most of it is no longer worth the price. The solution is not complicated. Stop buying stuff you do not need. Stop trying to keep up with everyone else. Cook at home more. Keep your car longer. Buy used when it makes sense. Cut the subscriptions you do not use. Keep your phone until it actually breaks. Stop trying to look rich and start actually being wealthy instead. You can either look wealthy or be wealthy, but for most people, you cannot do both. Every dollar you spend to impress others is a dollar that is not working for your future. Savings and financial security are worth way more than any of this other stuff. The people who figure this out early are the ones who end up comfortable later in life. Think about where your money is actually going. Track it for a month and you will be surprised how much is disappearing on things that do not matter. Then figure out what you can cut. I guarantee there is a lot you can cut. Your future self will thank you for being smart today. Thank you for listening.